David Blau? He's the biggest difference maker in the NFL? Washington has unlocked a Ben Johnson-style attack for Jayden Daniels. Armed with Scary Terry and Stefon Diggs, is this offense marching toward a Sean Payton Super Bowl masterclass?
Kevin O'Connell. So I'm giving you all sorts of choices. Which one do you think is going to be the biggest difference maker in the NFL, where we're going to see a change and an uptick? I'll also give you a new play caller in Denver. With
Davis Webb,
a new set of eyes with Davis Webb calling plays with Sean Payton, I'm sure, hovering in a way.
Yeah.
What do you got for me? What do you think at the end of the day is going to be like, okay, this was the move, this is really working?
You missed two out there, and one of them is Brian Fleury from the Seahawks, never called plays for, and the other one's David Blough from the Commanders.
That's right.
I'm going to go with David Blough, sort of an outside the box. So I was teammates with David Blough in 2020 for the Detroit Lions. And when you look at the 2024 season of Jayden Daniels, really I'm picking this because I think Jayden Daniels is going to break out this year again. Okay. I say break out. He had the best rookie year of all time. It's not even close in 2024. I say break out. He was hurt. But I do think that this David Blough scheme, sort of very similar to Ben Johnson, a Darrell Bevell type scheme, if you remember back in Seattle with Russell Wilson, where they're throwing the football down the field, a lot of trick plays, a lot of personnels. They're going to get Jayden Daniels under center way more. They're going to put way more mental, from a mental standpoint, on Jayden Daniels at the line of scrimmage, being able to get in and out of the right play. They're going to protect him more. They're still going to run him more. You're going to see an offense that is truly opened up. And so to me, if you can get that guy on the screen right there back to form, like we saw what he could be, and that was his rookie year. Sure, he had a sophomore slump. I hate saying that, but he got hurt, right? He didn't play well even when he was there and got hurt. But if he can get back to form, to me, that's going to be a big deal in that NFC East.
Who are the playmakers?
In that NFC East.
Who are the playmakers he's going to throw to, Chase?
I mean, Scary Terry and Diggs, right? So that's the one thing. That's the one thing that I think that this offense, and I've been around this style of offense, you could have a little bit less skill players or lack of skill players, and the offense is sort of the shining star, if that makes sense. So in an offense like you remember, I'm sure you do, you've been covering the league forever, probably longer than I've been alive. But
careful, come on now. Come on.
I turned 40 this October.
I still cut a youthful figure here. Okay.
Close.
Go for it.
Yeah. But you remember Sean Payton back in the 09, 10, 11, like the days I was there, won a Super Bowl. You couldn't name, I mean, other than Marcus Colston and Jimmy Graham later, but you couldn't name our skill players. Devery Henderson, Robert Meacham. And so I think they're going to have those type of guys. Pierre Thomas, one of the best screenbacks of all time. You're going to have those type of guys in Washington step up.
Yeah. Reggie Bush is called, though, Chase.
Yeah. Well, that was a little later.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
I had Sproles too, but I'm saying mainly at receiver.
Sure. No, at receiver. Got you. So
like two different neighborhoods to go. But yeah, there are definitely spots, and some of them aren't like starting spots, but like, okay, the last at this position, who would also be part of the 70-man roster, when you have a deep group at some spots. So the injuries play into that some, John, because of, like example like Laramie and Johnny, who are, the longer variety. The guys that we're talking about now, they're going to be back, So that definitely factors in when those types of ones happen. It's an important week for us, and one that I don't love Sunday, but I love tomorrow. I love Friday. Sunday's hard about what that means and represents. But the lead up in this camp that I ever had prior, just for that same purpose, for the play caller, for the assistants, for the grouping, so they don't know what's happening. So there's been a number of practices today included that I and the equipment managers have just the down and distances, so I know what's coming next and they're ready, but the coaches on the sideline don't. And so I want it to be, in that part of the stress, to be as much game-like as I can. but it helps. And so the practice, we have, some down and distances pre-scripted, so that can go a little bit more smoothly, with the exception of like call-its. The games help a lot because you just get into weird scenarios. Okay, now it's some of the game management. It's like, all right, both of the halves, like 2-minute wise, I liked how we were using the clock. We didn't convert in this game, but in the previous game we did. So those are ones that are like the hardest to simulate in a practice. Just the, not just a shot clock, but the game clock to work down. And so I liked having those.
When a rookie quarterback steps onto the professional stage and delivers what seasoned NFL analysts universally describe as the greatest debut campaign in football history, the immediate question entering year 2 is never about raw talent. It is about systematic evolution. In 2024, Jayden Daniels did not merely play quarterback for the Washington Commanders. He completely resurrected a traumatized franchise, carrying a roster that had known 30 agonizing years of organizational dysfunction all the way to the doorstep of the Super Bowl. But in the modern National Football League, past glory is rendered obsolete by sunrise. The league adapts with ruthless efficiency. Defensive coordinators spend thousands of off-season hours dissecting tendencies, and the dreaded sophomore wall waits for any young star who dares to stand still.
That is precisely why the most consequential off-season development in the nation's capital did not arrive on a flashy billboard, but in the offensive coaching booth. As former NFL quarterback Jayden Daniels highlighted on the Rich Eisen Show, the arrival of new offensive coordinator David Blau represents the ultimate catalyst designed to propel Jayden Daniels from a sensational rookie phenomenon into an unstoppable cerebral superstar. Blau, an innovative offensive mind steeped in the cutting-edge philosophies of Ben Johnson in Detroit and Darrell Bevell during Seattle's championship era, is engineering a total conceptual overhaul of the Commanders' attack. Rather than confining Daniels to predictable shotgun formations, Blau is shifting Washington toward a dynamic under-center architecture. This schematic pivot changes everything. By operating directly behind the center, Daniels gains the mechanical leverage to unleash devastating play-action concepts, freeze second-level linebackers with deceptive bootlegs, and attack the deep third of the field with vertical boundary shots.
More crucially, Washington is handing the keys of the entire operation directly to Daniels at the line of scrimmage. He is no longer just executing predetermined plays, he is being entrusted to check into max protections, audible against exotic blitz looks, and exploit structural weaknesses before the ball is even snapped. This is the hallmark of modern football greatness. It is the exact intellectual leap that transformed Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow from electric young athletes into perennial championship field generals who dictate terms to opposing coordinators on every single possession.
To execute this aggressive vision, the Commanders have constructed an offensive arsenal that rivals any perimeter group in professional football. The blockbuster acquisition of perennial All-Pro wide receiver Stefon Diggs gives Washington a ruthless route technician who thrives on creating instantaneous separation on critical third downs. Pairing Diggs opposite the explosive contested catch dominance of Terry McLaurin creates a dual-threat boundary dilemma that defensive coordinators simply cannot bracket. If opposing safeties shade toward Diggs, McLaurin is left in isolated single coverage down the sideline. If they drop into two high shells, Daniels possesses the pinpoint intermediate accuracy and electric rushing ability to methodically dismantle defenses underneath.
As Jayden Daniels astutely observed, this offensive ecosystem mirrors the legendary Super Bowl-winning New Orleans Saints offenses under Sean Payton. In those championship schemes, the system itself was the shining star, a high-efficiency scoring machine that elevated every role player on the field, turning complementary weapons like Pierre Thomas, Robert Meacham, and Devery Henderson into household names. In Washington, with versatile pass-catching running backs and emerging tight ends operating within Blau's multi-tight end 12 personnel packages, the offense is engineered to generate explosive chunk plays from every single position on the depth chart.
Yet high-flying offensive theory means nothing in the violent crucible of the NFC East if a football team lacks physical grit. Head coach Dan Quinn has ensured that complacency will find no home in Washington. Throughout a punishing training camp and brutal full-padded joint practice sessions against the Baltimore Ravens, Quinn deliberately put his team's feet to the fire.
He subjected his new play callers to unscripted, high-stress scenarios, reminding everyone in the building of the fundamental truth of professional football. At some point in the NFL, you are going to get punched directly in the face. What separates pretenders from true champions is how you respond in the huddle after absorbing that initial blow. The Commanders' physical transformation extends directly to the defensive side of the ball as well. The emergence of young, explosive defenders like linebacker Sonny Styles provides Washington with the downhill violence and sideline-to-sideline quickness needed to combat modern spread attacks. Styles' ability to shoot gaps, blitz off the edge, and drop into zone coverage gives Quinn the versatile chess piece required to protect fourth-quarter leads against division rivals like Philadelphia and Dallas. The Washington Commanders are no longer an underdog Cinderella story riding the wave of beginner's luck. They are a battle-tested, highly conditioned, strategically weaponized football team entering the 2026 season with genuine championship aspirations. With Jayden Daniels possessing full command of David Blough's master offense and Dan Quinn instilling an unforgiving physical discipline across the roster, the nation's capital is ready for an encore. The blueprint is set, the weapons are armed, and the rest of the NFL is officially on notice. Thank you for watching Sport Current. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video to support the channel. Turn on notifications so you never miss the latest NFL and WNBA news, breaking stories, game updates, trades, and the biggest moments in American sports. Stay tuned for more updates, and we'll see you in the next video right here on Sport Current.